Hey y'all, it's Nancy, the Handy Scandy, here for Saturday Morning Makes. Oh, let me take a deep breath and kind of exhale everything that's been going on up until I turned on the camera. Okay, so this will be going up late again. Life just seems to get in my way, but I am happy to at least be able to participate and share with you at least some of my older makes, even if it's not what I sat down to create today, because that was for another video. But I wanted to share these tags that I created using the Big Bumble. Let me pull my supplies over here. I'll set these aside and just pull in one at a time. So this was with the Big Bumble stamp from Whimsy. It's absolutely gorgeous. Obviously, it's a big butterfly sunflower with a bumblebee. And it's very kind of zen-tangle-y. And I absolutely love it. I'm not great at coloring it in, but I do like to use it in other ways. So let me set that over here. This is the first of, I think it's 3 tags that I made on this particular day. I did some gel plate printing on my, what are these called? Tags. Some gel plate printing on my tags. And then I did some ink smushing and I stamped the stamp down on there, and you can see I just kind of heat embossed it in a beautiful kind of ochre color. I think it was from Wow. I cannot tell you the name, but I did. And then I used this stencil from Whimsy as well. Let me pull it in there. It is this one, Farmhouse Greenery, and I did just a little bit of stenciling on there with some crackle paste, and then I came around the edges with some more embossing powder, and I just did that kind of what I call grungy elegant look. And then I added some trims to the side, and I need to glue that piece down. Added a little bit to the back just to kind of extend it, and then of course just some little twines, some little baker's twine, and that's about it. But I love the detail, and like I said, I call it kind of grungy elegance, or elegant grunge. I'm not even sure now what I call it, but anyway, I feel like it has a little bit of both, right? Now this stamp here is called Vintage Script. It's another of my favorites from Whimsy. It's a 6x6 red rubber cling background stamp, and of course this is a background as well, not quite the same size, right? It's more like 4x6, but very, very pretty. 2 of my favorites. Let me move that out of the way. Now this is the second stencil or tag that I made that same day. Basically the same thing, and I'll just go ahead and pull this one in too. This is the third one, so you can see how the background, the very back, is basically the same, right? It's the white tag and that yellow gel plate printing that I pulled up for my base layer, and of course I used the mini slim tags from Whimsy. One of my absolutely most used tags or die sets in my whole stash. So let me move this one back out of the way because I'm not to it yet. This is the one we just did, and you can see how I did them a little bit different. Added that little extra trim down the side over here. It's the exact same. And I just added it to the side. This one I didn't add any kind of textile or trim on the tag itself, but I added more little banner cuts on the side. And again, with the script and the embossing paste through the stencil, just a little bit darker embossing powder around the edges to get the same basic feel, right? Obviously they look a little bit different, but the same basic feel. And then some jute and some more of the black baker's twine. And I know that they're really long and tenderly, but I like that look. And my plan was to make a signature and then to ultimately make a tag book, and I still will. I'm just not there yet. So these are I think they're called Chit Chats from Tim Holtz. I think they're his ideology line, but I just kind of went a little dark with them. It says, "There was a terrible silence written in the sky. Leave me alone," his deep voice echoed. Out of the hollow by the door of a tomb, crept into shadowy relief my dead body. And I don't know if you're familiar with those or not. Let me see if I can grab them. Okay, so these aren't the Halloween ones, but they're individual little sayings, and you get to put them together to create your own story. And so this one is just called, it's called Clippings. So everything's a little bit different. Obviously they have different tones of the distress line of neutrals, but these are particularly Halloween. And then the third tag that I made that day with that same background is this one. Same gel plate printing, same stamp, same embossing paste through the stencil, and the same little trims, I guess, added to the sides to extend it a little bit, more of this. And then again, in the dark and haunted room, moody and despairing, distressed beyond measure, my heart still drew me there. And some more little ribbons and trims at the top. So like I said, kind of dark, kind of not summery, which they were intended to be with that particular stamp, but I like them a lot. I think they're fun, and ultimately I will make them into a tag book. I need to make some more that go with it, but I do have a couple more. These were made at a different time, and essentially the same thing, the same tag dies, but in this one I use them very differently. Let me move this one out of the way. Let me move that out of the way. Hashtag Strathmore Makes. Join us. So on this one, I started out with another gel plate pull on this particular tag, but I used the Grunge canvas stamp, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Now you can use Grunge any way you want to. I loved it on there, and it's on this one as well with the vintage script. So there's a little bit of both on this particular layer. And this one I didn't do any kind of pull on it. I just did the stamping and the heat embossing with these two stamps, and then I just added some Versamark around the edges and did the heat embossing. And this one I did the heat embossing as well. But all that grunge in the back, other than the stamping, all of that is from the gel plate pull. So there's a bunch of grungy bits from the gel plate. There's layers of paint and ink. Yummy, yummy grunge on that one. And then on this layer, let me see if I can move some of them out of the way. This is where I used, what can I use? What can I use? Can I use that? Yeah. So that's where I used the big Bumble, and I stamped and heat embossed on the acetate, and then I cut the tag. Boy, my words are really wanting to not work with me tonight. I apologize. So it's the second size, second largest. I just made it a little bit shorter, and then I added the black embossing powder, and then I added some of the gold to give it that grungy elegance. And then with these two layers, they're just the small tags, and it's these two little bitty ones. So this is a versatile set, y'all. You don't have to make the larger tags, so I just had a good time with those. Now this, oh, what is that called? And I had it in front of me a minute ago and I've lost it. I believe it's called, it's something backgrounds. It's not grunge. Maybe it's distressed backgrounds, and there are several stamps in that set. But I really like this kind of, it looks like a threadbare burlap to me. I like it a lot. And then of course I added some more of the heat embossing to give it that elegant grungy look. And on this particular tag, it's this long skinny one, and I had this die cut. It's from, I think it's from Honeybee. It's a big plaid die cut essentially. When they sell it in a couple different layers, and I only have one layer, but this was in my stash. I just trimmed it down and adhered it, and then I did the grungy heat embossing. So that is that. It's a tag, but it's multiple layers. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers on that, and I really love it. That is one of my favorite tags that I've ever made. Lots of different things that come together to create, I think, a very beautiful tag composition. And then this this one made the same time, and very much the same way. So you can see, if you look real closely, you can see the gel plate pull in the background. You see some of the stenciling that was on there, some of the grunge from the gel plate, and then I stamped the grunge stamp again and the vintage script, and added some more of the gold for that elegant grungy look. And you can see the embossing powder that I embossed the words with. You see how that lifts up? It's just so pretty. Love that. And then did this one the exact same way as this one. It's a shimmery cardstock, as you can see, and so it already has that shimmery gold to it. And then I did the grunge and the script, heat embossed those, and then added the gold grunge. So they're essentially the exact same. So this is the other half of the Big Bumble stamp, and again I just trimmed it down, added the gold embossing just to make them coordinate, and then these are very much the same. So those are those two, and love them. You can tell that I really like this Big Bumble stamp because I've used it a lot. Now here is one more that I made, and it's completely different. This is again another gel plate pull, and I made this gel plate, what is it called? Texture plate, using the honeycomb stencil. So it's actually called honeycomb drip, I believe. Yeah, honeycomb drip. Now I have rarely used the drip. I've not mastered how to stencil with that drip, but my sweet friend Lisa Mensing definitely has, and she's made some beautiful videos with that and has come up with some beautiful results. But I used just the honeycomb part, and I put some texture paste through it on some cardboard, and then once the texture paste dried, I used that as a texture plate, or yeah, texture plate for my gel plate. And then I essentially made a stamp out of it, and so stamped in those acrylic paint colors, and you can see that beautiful grunge that got pulled up. Beautiful grunge. Love the grunge on a gel plate pull. Absolutely love it. And then I stamped the Big Bumble, and you know, sometimes ink and embossing powder don't stick to acrylic paint the way we might hope, but I feel like the places where it didn't stick, it looks purposeful, and it adds to that grunginess of this beautiful tag. Now I did not do anything around the edges like I normally do, because I didn't want to lose this beautiful grunge from the gel plate pull, so I just left it as is. Now with this one, you can see I've got some stuff coming over on the back, but it's okay. It's all good. Because the reason that that looks like that is because these honeycombs are actually inlaid. I don't know how well you can tell that, but I have it all taped in there so you can see it on the back. Oh, maybe you can't. It's all taped in there because it is inlaid. Now that is created with this die. This is the honeycomb pattern die. Love it. So much fun for summertime. This one is adhered to the top, and this one is actually inlaid. So really love those. And again, this is a gel plate pull. It might be, no, I was going to say it might be from the same gel plate pull, and I just trimmed or used the different dyes for it, but this was from a different pull. So the colors coordinate, but they're not the same. And then this little bee, I think he's absolutely the sweetest thing, and I have him right here. It's with this stamp set, Beautiful Bees, and I've used this for a couple different projects, and it's just really happy. I've missed you, be mine, be beautiful, believe, hello. Super sweet. So that is one more that I wanted to share with you. And then this one I didn't realize was in my stack, and it's made with different products, but I guess I'll show you anyway because it's right here and it is bee themed. So this one I think is super, super cute. I don't have this dice or this stamp set in front of me, but I will try to remember to link it downstairs in the description box. And I think it's super cute. Again, started with a gel plate print in the background, used this stencil again to put the crackle paste through there, and then I added a little bit more distress spray stains to it just to add some color into those little crackly bits. And then I used this again to get this honeycomb here, and there's honeycomb down here, and then the words "What's the Buzz" are cut out with the Cutie ABC dies, and then of course there's the stamp set there. I think they're absolutely the sweetest little bees. They're so stinking happy, so cute, and I just love them, and I'm so glad that I could share these with you today. That's all I have this time. I really wanted to share those because things tend to get away from me, and I didn't have anything new to share this day. I just don't have anything new that I can share with you on this day because the things that I made are for something else. So here are my fun tags made with the Big Bumble stamp set, as well as other things, and the mini slim tag dies. And this is the mini slim tag die as well, but it's a different stamp set. But like I said, I will try to have everything linked and listed downstairs in the description box. Make sure, guys, that you use that hashtag #SatMornMakes. Hop along and see what everybody else is sharing this day. We have Miss Jillian Norwood of Greenwood Girl Cards to give all of our thanks to. She created this event when the pandemic started because she wanted to kind of create a way where we could come together and share our artwork and connect and help each other get through a very difficult time. And Miss Jillian Norwood, thank you very much. Thank you for this wonderful brainchild. Thank you for your kindness, for your beautiful insights and comments, and for this beautiful community that you've created. Thank you so much. Everybody, thank you for spending some time with me again today. This is Nancy, the Handy Scandy, and until next time, mwah, I'm out.